As a young man, Matt Cook was as much a nature enthusiast as could be. He spent hours out on the Katy Prairie and land like it, fishing and soaking up the natural world, and grew up to know a ton about the land, the trees, and the birds that fascinated him, even before entering a graduate program in his 30s. He even had a talent for identifying bird calls as well as mimicking them to try to chat back and forth. While spending time out on Warren Ranch Lake, Matt would often see people pull their cars off the road and climb up on their hoods with a pair of binoculars just to try to see the birds. This begins the story of the Matt Cook Wildlife Viewing Platform. Hello and welcome to this episode of Like You Were There, in which we'll visit a tiny nature preserve 40 minutes out in northwest Houston near Waller County. After a short fenced-in walk through the Shrike Prairie, the Matt Cook Wildlife Viewing Platform sits aside the 140-acre Warren Ranch Lake, which serves as a bird and wildlife sanctuary that provides a prime migration destination for a wide variety of interesting animals year-round as it sits on the International Flyway where many species of bird migrate. The platform was dedicated in 2010 to Matthew Wren Cook, who was born in Houston, Texas on May 27, 1971. A Texas A&M graduate with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Wildlife and Fisheries Science, Matt's sister Lori describes him as strong, smart and witty, quiet and loyal. He was an avid outdoorsman who loved to fish his whole life and spent many hours studying and enjoying the wildlife of the Katy Prairie. In his earlier years, he also liked to hunt while spending time with his father Gareth and their friends just appreciating wildlife. In his later years, he fought with severe depression and stopped hunting but continued to fish and spend as much time as he could outdoors. It was when he was finishing his master's degree when his depression descended upon him with such force that he couldn't overcome it. Matt succumbed to suicide on Thursday, April 19, 2007, at the age of 35. After his passing, some family friends of the Cooks approached the Katy Prairie Conservancy to ask permission to raise funds so they can build a platform near Warren Ranch Lake in his honor. After months of negotiations went by as the Katy Prairie Conservancy's board discussed what would be best to build, the platform was dedicated and opened to the public on November 13, 2010. There is a plaque near the platform with a poem by Wendell Berry, The Peace of Wild Things. Austin artist Gilbert Beal created the bronze relief of Matt from a photo of him fishing in Alaska. Matthew's mother, Jane Cook, describes the space with glowing pride, saying, quote, "It remains such a wonderful place for us all to remember Matt, be grateful for our lives with him, and meet the folks who enjoy the platform. I often say that he would have been the one to enjoy this place more than anyone." Currently, it's the end of winter with spring right around the corner, so the 430-foot Shrike Prairie Trail is being worked on to remove some intrusive greenery that has overtaken the usual diverse local flora along the path. As spring moves in, expect this trail to bloom with wildflowers and host bustling pollinators to make your walk to the viewing platform a pleasant, bite-sized hike perfect for young kids or the elderly. There's one bench to sit on along the trail, but no seating on the platform, so if you plan on staying a while, please feel free to bring your own picnic mats or lawn chairs to park your keisters while you overlook the lake and watch out for wildlife. Depending on the time of the year, you have a chance to see pink flamingo-like roseate spoonbills, egrets, herons, red-tailed hawks, pelicans, a variety of ducks, and most notably, bald eagles in the winter months. That's right, you have a place to come see bald eagles all the way out here in Waller, Texas. There's plenty of parking for such a small attraction, but be aware there are no on-site bathrooms and no trash bins. The hours of operation are 7 a.m. to dusk, and guns, liquor, hunting, fishing, smoking, dogs, or loud music are not allowed. Also, please refrain from trying to feed any wildlife if the opportunity presents itself, and stay within the fenced area as visitors are not allowed out into the prairie or along the lake. If you're planning a trip, be sure to stop at the family-owned Backdoor Pizzeria at the intersection of Warren Ranch and Old 290 for a bathroom break and to grab a pizza, burgers, and more, all of which are pretty excellent from personal experience. I'd also like to use this opportunity to encourage anyone with suicidal thoughts to contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which provides a 24/7 service available to anyone in suicidal crisis or emotional distress at their toll-free number of 1-800-273-8255. For anyone experiencing clinical depression, please know that there are ways to lessen your burden. You can talk to friends or family, or find a counselor or therapist to help you through what you're experiencing. Everyone needs emotional help throughout their lives, and there's no shame in asking for it when you need it. I'm Jeff Melnick, and if you'd like to learn more about Houston area attractions, events, and more, stay tuned, like and subscribe, and experience them like you were there.